There was another Blokees stone left unturned in my journey until now. This is Blokees Defender version 2, the Overthrow. Blokees is the manufacturer, Defender is the product line, this is the second set, and it's called the Overthrow. It's called the Overthrow mostly because Starscream is in it. Defender is by far the most gacha and candy toy ground that Blokees Transformers have tread upon, with a diminutive size and notably wider chase variant space. Bumblebee and Starscream are the two chase slots in the 12-entry wave, with each one capable of being either regular, a shiny variant, or a shiniest variant with extra exclusive components. Oh, the Bumblebee, whichever one you do get, will also come with one of 3 potential coins, and a sealed box includes one of 3 large art cards. I'll leave a full math matrix up to someone in the comments. I'm gonna shred through all 12 boxes in this box, so let's begin the adventure. These little boxes are thinner than the Galaxy Blokees, but they are still extremely shiny. So, for those of you who were worried about that, who hadn't seen these before, all 3 of you, I hope I have answered your qualm and settled your question. There's shine to this. Anyway, I'm gonna crack one open now. The glue is just as tough. I gotta get my ripping on. Oh, come on. Yeah, let me in! Oh, wow. There's probably an easier way to do this that involves, like, I don't know, a sharp object, but the sharp object I have is simply my mind. And, so I'm solving this with peace and pacifism rather than violence and sword blades. Alright, only one bag. Oh, still spoiler cards, though, but also desiccant. Okay, what all do we have? Here's our desiccant. It's one of these. And it's, decent texture. The spoiler cards, so we know it's Bone Crusher Vehicle. And then the instruction little booklet thingy. This is... It's got a lot of information on it. Starscream has always been ambitious and longed to replace Megatron as the leader of the Decepticons. When the coronation ceremony was about to take place, Starscream was defeated, and his ambitions and plans ultimately ended in failure. The Overthrow, I suppose. Also, coin. Here's what everything looks like. Oh, okay, so, there are instructions for Bone Crusher Vehicle. But only Bone Crusher Vehicle. I wonder if these pamphlets are unique. Outside of the little cardlets also being unique. Let's see what this looks like in here. I haven't messed around with any of this Defender stuff yet, so... this will be a new adventure for me, and again, like, the 3 of you who haven't already been looking into how this stuff works. There is a little hub here that I gotta stick some green planks onto. And I am assuming, yeah, with all this this little deco work here on the side, that this plank goes on. How does this work? Oh, this goes up here. Okay. And so this is not a little Transformer necessarily. This is a little Transformers character, but not a little Transformers hypothetical guy. Well, actually, no, this is a hypothetical guy. This is not a literally hypothetical guy. Check out the science. It makes sense when you get into it. But there is, there is a telltale ball socket joint here underneath this alt mode figure, which does belie something that I believe has been all but fully teased at this point, that the little vehicle mode Constructicons are likely going to ensemble together for the sake of gatai and good times. What I'm curious about is what the in-hand scale feels like. So if this is going to be a shoulder, it's going to probably go like pop onto the side of someone's arm. This bit here is by design able to wiggle, but that may just be coincidence. There's also a little hole up here. I wonder if, like, whatever the forearm piece is going to be, you'd be able to fold this down and then, like, spap it on top between those 2 pegs and that little hole. Anyway, it's a cute little Bone Crusher. I'm a Bone Crusher fan because he's a freak in a onesie, so this makes me happy. I know there's another Bone Crusher probably living in here. In fact, let's continue up the left channel and see if I can hit Bone Crusher right after a Bone Crusher. Are we going to have the double Bone Crusher adventure? Let me try the bottom. Maybe the bottom... Nope, the bottom feels all but identical. Oh, yeah. This didn't change anything. This simply makes my recycling pile look more strange and confusing. But I'm going to try to get the bag out without snagging the card, if possible. Oh, Let go. Let go. Let go. Oh, I'm just going to pull. There we go. So, before we see what the little cardlet is, here is my silica gel. We're already on to a second silica gel variant as well. How exciting. Let's see what colors are inside of here, though. Let's see what fresh digs await us. This is some red. This is Inferno. Which Inferno? I think there's two. There, I see little wheels, so I think this is another alt mode. That's kind of funny if I hit two alt modes one after another. Now I'll pull the rest of the paperwork. I gotta pull the rest of the paperwork out of this the hard way. Split it right up the middle. Yeah, the pamphlets are unique. Interesting. So this is Inferno Vehicle. And there is the build guide for Inferno Vehicle. Stick a ladder on it, slap another half on it. Here's some of the length of it. It's kind of cool. This does look like the little arms are folded up with some of that familiar shots of deco and color. This is clean looking stuff. I'm kind of curious if there is still any shared parts amidst all these things, because like some of that looked like it was in pieces specifically for the sake of a torso assembly. I guess we'll find out, you know, later on. How's this clipping? Wait a second, oh, there's another set of wheels. The instructions made it look like there was supposed to be a double set of wheels, but then they wouldn't be able to roll, so how would that make sense? So we're sticking this onto here. I stuck this on backwards. Somehow, I stuck it on backwards. Now the wheel well makes sense. Somehow Palpatine returned, and I'm supposed to stick this onto a little ball socket cup here, so that can wiggle. That's cute. It's Transformers when your parents bought you Hot Wheels instead, and you just play pretend, and maybe you did like I did as a kid and would just stand them up like this to say that they're robots. Next! I really would like to preserve the surprise till I rip the bag, so I gotta figure out how to open these in a way that like doesn't bend the little cards and gets the bag out, but also doesn't show me what's inside. So I'm just gonna try to ease this bag out. Definitely, you know, less mass inside these bags because everything is smaller. That's gotta be a little guy. I think that's... Ooh, okay, that's the Bumblebee. So I got one of the special Bumblebees. I got the... I believe they're calling it SG Bumblebee, which is interesting, because it looks more like Bug Bite to me. But, yeah, SG Bumblebee. So, in every box, you could either... There's a Bumblebee and a Starscream slot, right? The common ones are just Bumblebee or Starscream. The uncommon ones are Shiny Starscream or this SG Bumblebee. The much more rare ones are Bumblebee and Starscream, but with extra armor. Bumblebee having some kind of pastiche of, kind of looks like RID 2015, and Starscream having Coronation gear. So I got the uncommon Bumblebee with a kind of thick bag of silica gel. And then let's see if this is also bespoked to SG. It's even bespoke to the variant. Interesting. So, what is it like putting together one of these little guys? Where is the tiny little pelvis? It's so tiny and so flat. Oh, there's a copyright on that side. That must be the butt. Ooh, okay, clicked together nicely. This looked like a foot to me at first. Okay, the instructions imply that everything is in less pieces than it actually is, but this should still be pretty straightforward. Never mind, I was only looking at the center picture, going like, why is it only in 5 pieces? There's all these pictures on the outside. I mean, why would I, you know, look outside of the center of the image? But there you go! Turns out, if I used my peripheral vision, I would have been able to tell much sooner what all was going on. I stuck the calves on as forearms because some of these things are in 2 pieces. So, do these match up? They do! Okay, there we go. So this then goes onto the foos. And then that goes into here. And then that means that these slightly stubbier things are the forearms. Hooray! Got an optic brick, which is oval-shaped, and I think that means it only goes in one way. Yeah, it's gripped in like that. That fills in the eyes, and then that can slap on top of here. Got a couple fists. And a gun. The gun has a light gradient on it, and the paint on this guy is all still kind of shiny, so it's not like chrome like gloss shiny, but it's got a sheen that I assume is not on the other ones. It seems like they still are doing the Blokees treatment for a chase, but I'm assuming just not as much as on the plus accessory chases. We'll see. We'll open another one of these up, see if there's a little guy inside. By the way, for articulation, these little dudes, they are, you know, fairly small. Here is a Galaxy Blockee, in case you're wondering about a size comparison. And the articulation's all ball socket based. Hand feel is pretty darn solid on the joints so far. You know, we'll see how things go later on in life, I suppose. Ball sockets do afford some bicep swivels up there. Ball socket knee affords a bottom of the thigh swivel. And then the ankles are on ball socket thingies that give them wigglage. So, pretty darn decently posable, extremely pocket-sized. Now I gotta know, is there... That was left third from the front, where the Bumblebee was. I know, like, one person said that they liked being aware of the coordinates of all the things I opened. So, the left column was Bone Crusher Vehicle, Inferno Vehicle, SG Bumblebee, and then whatever this one is. This one is... I can't tell who this is. Is this a... This isn't like a Diaclone Ironhide, is it? Who's in this? Oh, it is a Diaclone Iron... I was about to say, this looks a lot like, whatever, DK Guard or whatever. In the assortment, this is not called Diaclone Ironhide. I believe this is called SG Ironhide. Confirmed. And once again, a big gel packet. The build on this is intensely identical. So I am just going to say, let's take all the bits and pieces. Because at this point, right, you know how ball sockets go together. And you know that I'm a show-off. We'll even throw the gun in here. So, if I were to give this the old switcheroo mixeroo, then you'd have a little Diaclone Ironhide, a little DK Guard type, a little Shattered Glass Ironhide, what with purple symbols. So I got the Shattered Glass couple of little guys here. I don't think there's a Shattered Glass Optimus in this. No, it's Ultra Magnus in this assortment. But that's cute. My first two robot defenders are also both Autobot, purple Autobot symboled. Let's go back to the front, but we'll do the right column next. And get this open. See who awaits us within the heavily glued, heavily hard to open top of this box. I'm getting better at wiggling my finger through. Hopefully I don't just take like a massive paper cut at some point while doing that. If that's the case, I caught sight of the card. Oh jeez. I'm sorry, but I also saw it was green. It's Hook Vehicle, so it's not, you know, the most mind-blowing thing in the world, but it is a third alt mode. It is a second Constructicon alt mode. And I think that with this one, we might even see how these start to go together. Almost lost a wheel. That would have been embarrassing. So we're going to put Hook together first. I better get the hook for hooks. Hook. Huh? How's this go? Ugh! Oh, it's like got a... Yeah, it's got like a little lock spot to push past. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that the under chassis is also just a black piece. Maybe that has to do with how the eventual devastation works. I don't know. You know, the hook... Wait a second, I can already see it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so, hold on. So, this is the body of the vehicle mode, right? There's obviously where a head might go. There's obviously where a chest plate might go, so I think there's gonna go splap like that for the top, the collar of the Devastator. There is also this little thing, because we gotta put the hook somewhere, right? Gotta put your hook somewhere, or it's just gonna be A hanger. That's cute. 6 wheels like Inferno. Here's your two little guys. I don't imminently see a way to hook them together. To hook them together, but it's probably going to be something like that. Maybe there's like an interstitial joint piece that like will be slugging in there with a ball sticking out to slap into that hole. Either way, let's go on to the next one. I'm running out of alt modes. I think there's only one more alt mode I could pull, which would be Bumblebees. So it'd be quite funny if I pulled Bumblebee's alt mode, because then we're just going to be slapping ball sockets together for the rest of this thing. So let's see if I can get that bag out without seeing the card. I'm going to like lightly look away and push some stuff back in that I can't see. Alright, who is going to fall out of this bag? What colors await us? It's regular Starscream. I only got one chase. I think that's normal. I've had trouble understanding like how the chases in Defender work with the first set, but this is regular Starscream, and so I think I heard someone say, oh, you need 4 boxes to get all the chases naturally. But given that Starscream and Bumblebee are both chase slots, I was kind of wondering if it's like possible to just end up with 2 chases in 1 box. Either way, this is a regular Starscream who mostly goes together like a normal little guy. So let's just... So some parts are new and thus did not immediately partake in the metamorphosis process, but you've got little null rays to stick on the shoulders. There is a teeny cockpit boob to affix betwixt Starscream's regular turbine boobs. And then the wing pack is the other half of the torso, but it's a whole wing pack, so why not see that go on? And then you get Lil Starscream, who is kind of adorable. I am noticing, you know, by nature of the fist, you know, ball popping on, that hypothetically hand swaps are accommodated in Defender, even though they are not present as far as I can tell. So far, at least. But this is a cute little Starscream. He looks like he can get coronated at some point. That'd be a fun chase to pick up somewhere down the road. I'm curious if the cape is just a plank. I could probably just look that up. We are halfway through. I'm onto the 3rd box in on the right-hand side. Gotta peel this. Now that we know that we're out of chase territory, maybe it doesn't matter if I just pull the card out first. Like, the notion of that level of surprise, the open the bag and dump it and go, whoa, we got to have that once with the Bumblebee. So, I'm going to just pull the paperwork out too. We'll check the silica gel packet. It's Robot Inferno, and the silica gel packet is still of the kind of thicker type. I've seen a couple sizes so far, but only one that was truly small. That was with Inferno Vehicle. Oh wait, no, there was another truly small one here, or is this somewhat? This is still somewhat thicker. No, so they're all kind of pillow-like, except for the one that came with Inferno Vehicle. And there's some Inferno little robot man parts. Let's do a couple stages on this. First, I want my limbs. Well, you know, you're close. That's 3 limbs. That's close enough. I mean, we can stick the rest of this together pretty hastily with respectable speed. Don't put the boob on upside down. That's not respectable. That's in fact embarrassing. You know, don't tell my teachers that I didn't even know how to properly affix one breast to one back plate. But we can get some legs on here so that Inferno is standing. Get this one arm on here with his gun, not his gun hand, but just his gun. I'm fine with that because I think that the small scale and low price point that Defender seems to be aiming for leaves me not expecting part swaps. It does leave me thinking that maybe because the chases in this can involve full-on pieces, that maybe there is simply just like 12 little guys, and then whatever leftover budget is to manufacture, you know, the few copies. I'm not sure how many copies it would be, but the assumedly few copies of the accessorized versions. I don't really know anything about like how the production on a set like this would work, because with Galaxy, There's sometimes a chase. That makes sense to me. Now that this is getting into, like, you know, sometimes a chase or sometimes a chaser chase, but 2 of the slots can be chase. I don't really know how the collation and whatnot works in that anymore, because, like, I don't know. I'm not a maths person. I'm just a person who magically can make figures glom together every now and then when I snap my fingers or clap my hands. So Inferno here has, like, the whole ladder assembly attached to the back of his head, but it doesn't really seem that much of an impediment unless you need him to look, like, far in one direction. So instead, he's simply able to look like a sort of average human could, who also had, like, a red semi-box around their head. Is he any... I don't think he's any taller. No, they're all around about the same size. And to finish off the right column, what awaits us within here? The glue still fights me. The surprise is mostly just mathematical at this point, but the glue still fights me. We're gonna get this contents dumped and see who rests withumped. I saw a name. It is Wheeljack. Wheeljack Robot. I don't believe there is a car version, but nonetheless, we got us a little inventor guy. We got us a little stack of parts. I'm just gonna see if I can do this one in the womb. Okay, I think that we... Yes! Newborn baby Wheeljack. Look at him with his little wiggly rocket launcher and his kind of angry-looking eyes. These are very neat-looking little fellas. I wouldn't mind a whole little 1984 cast like this, which I assume is what they are kind of proceeding towards. Very fun, very pocket-friendly. Feels a lot more, you know, box you pick up at a convenience store counter kind of toy. Blokees Galaxy is just a little bit beefier. The Galaxy Shining is even beefier boxes. But this one, especially the one that's front and center, this feels like something you could, like, walk into, you know, a Combini and get a hold of. Speaking of which, let's see who the most convenient of this box is. The one that is in the center column, front row. Probably the first one most people would reach for with their natural human tendencies to go for symmetry and stuff in front. Also, apparently there's a coin at some point, and I don't know when that happens. But we have got us the last vehicle, Bumblebee vehicle, front and center. Somewhat predictable, one might say. And how does he go together? Goes together like a... straight up like a tiny plastic car. I know, shocking, right? There's a coin! I see a coin! Okay, I was wondering if the coin was going to be like a separate bag, or just part of one of the baggies. So there are several coins you can get. I got the Bumblebee coin to go with Bumblebee. Seems predictable, seems, you know, kind of normal. I wonder if the... yeah, here's the other coin options. Could have also been Bumblebee vehicle. Could have been, I'm assuming, the kind of Rid-style Bumblebee. Does he have a new head? He does not have a new head. Who is that? Oh, that's Coronation Starscream. Okay. So it's Coronation Starscream, Bumblebee head, or Bumblebee vehicle would be the coins. I got Bumblebee head. I also got Bumblebee vehicle bones right here. Look at that. Just one naked car. No longer one naked car. Even less naked car. Now has wheels, for real a car. And then there's a little gun that goes on top. I believe this Bumblebee in a translucent was in Wave 1 of Defender. So this one is, you know, still taxi style. Still looking a little animated with the one stripe, but is now regular and matte with a cel-shaded looking front windshield. Gotta break those wheels in it. There we go. Now they're rolling. 3 remain. Center column. Second from the front. Who awaits us? There is a Golden Lagoon Soundwave still in here. There is an Ultra Magnus Optimus Prime still in here. There's a Bumblebee Robot still in here. So those are our 3 remaining. Who will come first? Who's directly behind Bumblebee Vehicle? Wouldn't it be funny if it's Bumblebee Robot? It is, in fact, going to get the card is the last thing coming out. Oh my god. Okay, here it is. It fell out already. It's Ultra Magnus, not Bumblebee Robot. The funny thing does not happen, which is very in character for Ultra Magnus. Plump silica gel, by the way, to go with Ultra Magnus. This is the first, I believe, Optimus repaint that was not a Chase variant from Wave 1, where there was Optimus, I believe Shiny Optimus, and I believe vaguely Galaxy Convoy-looking Optimus. Ultra Magnus! As you saw him in Dreamwave Volume 2. Did anyone actually, is that anyone's first intro to this guy who was like, who was not already an adult in the aughts? So there's some solid paint apps on someone who can be kind of blank white. You know, they did the full turquoise on the face, chest plate stuff, one Autobot symbol, and only one, a big fat gun. So, yeah, it's a pretty solid Optimus Prime mold. It's my first time seeing it in, you know, other colors. Third from the front, middle column, just show me who it is. I got no more time for this box ripping nonsense. I got information to discover and disseminate. Who is in here? It's a Decepticon. It is Bone Crusher Robot. I think earlier I said Bumblebee Robot was one of the ones left behind. It's because I already forgot that I pulled the Chase SG version. So, you know, that's on me. But maybe also that's on all of you, because nobody stopped me and said, hey, wait a second. And I know one of you is going to be like, I left a comment behind. And, well, I don't see it right now. I don't see your comment right now while I'm here recording this. So, whose fault is it really? You think to yourself, huh, as the viewer, technically I might be the one with some rights who's in control of what's happening. You don't have any control over what's happening. Let me let you in on a little secret, a little bit of a trick of the trade. When you watch a video like this, right, you think to yourself, like, oh, he's not even listening to me. Well, Virginia, not to mess up your perception of Christ Mass, but I'm here to tell you, Santa Claus is pre-recorded, and by Santa Claus, I mean this video. I mean this video you're watching right now. I already filmed this. Anything that you're saying, I'll see it after the fact, and I'll chuckle. But you know, if you're trying to shout at the screen, if you're trying to go like, "Hey, you're doing it wrong. Hey, well, why do you keep calling Bone Crusher a living onesie? Hey, well, you know, I don't know. I could answer that question in a regular conversation if we were just sitting down, you know, one-to-one in a casual social setting. We could have that conversation, but right now, as you're watching this, unless you have arranged an extremely specific set of circumstances, there's no insert on this head, unless you have done that, then we ain't in that situation. You might recall this conversation we're having. You might say, hey, I remember us having this. Or you might recall watching this video while we have a conversation. That's far more likely and less temporarily strange. But no, I mean, like, you know, the bone crusher, those arms are barely the same scale. I can't hear you, dog. I don't know what you're saying. Now, I might find out later, but right now, oh, where on earth did those treads go? How did they turn into green legs? Well, you know, go read a book. So in the center column, at the very back row, that is where lies Golden Lagoon Soundwave, unless something very strange is about to happen. And that's interesting to me that, like, Soundwave is debuting as Golden Lagoon. That feels like an in-wave preview for the next wave. Yeah, brilliant Soundwave. I guess brilliant was a word they used for one of the Bumblebee things in the first wave, if I recall correctly. But I guess also one could assume Soundwave is probably awaiting in Defender 3, which I assume is close on the horizon compared to some other stuff Blokees has going on, given that they've started to do ad copy for, well, silhouetted ad copy for the Devastator deal. But now that we're here, now that we've got this pile of golden parts, and you're all saying something about Linkin Park, let me just cut to the chase. Okay, I missed a spot. Let's get that arm together. Interesting thing about this Soundwave is that his backplate has the little sticky-uppy bit that his shoulder thingamy can ball socket onto, apologies. So, pretty solid paint apps considering this is a solid gold version. You still get that pleasant glossy tempo on the cassette door and the crotch. You still get shiny eyes, because I guess this is a brilliant version. They opted for that shiny inner eyeball block, optic block, on a Soundwave. Neat preview. I'm not much of a Golden Lagoon type person myself, but it's a cute way to, I guess, like, fire off, like, this mold's gonna be in multiple colors next wave. I would assume he's probably gonna be the chasey one in, like, Sound Blaster colors, or I guess something armored up with big speaker blocks if they get really creative. But yeah, look at all these little guys. Defender, my first experience with it, fairly positive considering what it is. The size of the figures, definitely more pocket-friendly, definitely more like what I think some people assumed Galaxy was going to be like before experiencing Galaxy in hand. The vehicle modes are a very adorable touch, although none of them have that weird little scooter mode, I think, that the Optimus Prime vehicle mode had. But it's an interesting character spread. I'm kind of digging that I got one of the chases, and they're still doing these little trading card things that they're quite sturdy. I think these are a bit off from like a mini Euro size, but I haven't got one to test. I did check. The big card you get for getting the box is slightly bigger in one or two dimensions of the two available than a Transformers TCG character card was. So that's a little bit different, but yeah, these I could see being another addictive thing to pursue. Galaxy feels almost more addictive in that, like, you're basically collecting action figures. In this case, the mixture of mediums, the smaller size, feels maybe more like if someone was really chasing after the chase variants. Ideally, some folks are, and piling all their singles out into a singles market, because if you can get at some of the non-chases, like, you know, these two or something like that, for fairly decent singles prices, picking up one of your favorite characters if they are not a chase seems quite doable. I don't know what the singles market's going to look like on you know, A, the Constructicons, and B, these Constructicons especially. That's probably going to be complicated. Same thing for any of the chases if you're after those, but yeah, since it's implied that you need to get like 2 to 4 boxes of those to even have a chance at the best math for getting chases, there should be more singles of this flying around than of Galaxy stuff, but I'm just hypothesizing. I also don't know what Transformers collectors are going to be like when faced with a collection like this of sight unseen boxes, but wave in some sort guaranteed with box, full box. Kind of, I'm speaking English. I still want to know what we're cooking here, though. I'm very curious.
Well, what do you know, I did manage to get one of the middle rarity chases. Nightmares of completionism aside, I am really digging what a Blokees Defender wave is on my first taste of the flavor. The alt modes do feel like the dud pulls if one were buying single boxes, full gacha style, but the little figures are absolutely joyful and make good use of their ball-socketed nature for emotive articulation. And hey, maybe that alt mode built Devastator that will coalesce down the line is gonna bring some hindsight-enhancing thunder. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Evangelist, and I do wonder if one more product line might manifest in future. Like, Blokees Aggressors has got some mouthfeel.